right. I think we are live. Hopefully, we're live. If anybody happens to stop by, let me know if we are live because I'm not watching the stream on YouTube, so I am unsure if we are live. Let me head over to my channel and see what's. It says we're live, but I'm not clicking on it because I don't want any crazy echo going on. But yeah, today we'll be going through or the Miami Hurricanes binder I have. We're just gonna be looking at some Miami Dolphins cards and just shooting the breeze, I guess you could say. So if you're hanging out, feel free to leave a comment. And yeah, I'm just gonna start rambling and showing some cards. So let me see if I can pull this view up. I'm not used to using StreamYard that much. I use OBS usually, but figure StreamYard might be easier with the second camera to change the layouts around and stuff like that. There we go. Let me see. Yeah, card view's working. All right. Let me pull up my checklist here so I know exactly what we're looking at when we're looking at Dolphins cards. Hopefully everybody is having a fine Saturday. Y'all let me know how the audio sounds if anybody stops in. All right. Starting off, we got some older Dolphins cards. I don't have a whole lot of vintage Dolphins, I guess you could say, but I do have some. Even though the oldest card I got from my Dolphins isn't actually a Dolphins card. It is actually a Patriots card of Mr. Nick Bonacotti. Nick Bonacotti. I always remember him as a Dolphin. He went to the Hall of Fame as a Dolphin. But here he's pictured as a Patriot. I think he went to the Dolphins a year after this, 1968. I think he went to the Dolphins in 1969. But yeah, Nick Bonacotti. I think I got this off who did I buy this off of? A YouTuber, but I can't remember what YouTuber I bought that off of. Now I'm drawing a blank. All right, we got 1970 Topps Larry Seipel. That is a rookie card. This one's got weird print issues. It's creased. Larry Seipel. And then we got this Paul Warfield, 1970 Topps Paul Warfield, Hall of Famer. What's up, Scott? Sold Zonka and sold Warfield. Pretty sure you got all the Warfield cards, don't you? Don't you, Scott? There's another Larry Zonka. That's on the 1971 Topps, followed by a Mercury Morris. That is considered a Mercury Morris rookie card. I love the back. The background looks like something under construction, or they just like drag these guys out to the Everglades and says, we're gonna take some pictures of y'all out in the Everglades. All right, moving all the way up to 1975, we got Hall of Famer Jim Longer. Longtime center for the Dolphins, part of those great 70s Dolphins team. Zonka went to your high school? That's awesome. What high school was that, Scott? That's really cool. My dad met Larry Zonka one time, and he said the dude looked like he could like put you in a headlock and rip your head off. Finally able to catch a live again, and it's football. What up, Austin? How you doing? Austin, are you graduated? Are you done? Are you finally done? Let me know. We got Dick Anderson here, 1975. I believe Dick Anderson was a Super Bowl MVP, if I'm not mistaken. I think he did at one time hold the record for interceptions in the Super Bowl. I think he had 3 in one Super Bowl. And then we got Freddie Solomon here on the 1976 Topps. And then closing it out with Don Strock. Don Strock on the 1976 Topps. Don Strock. Finally graduating December. That's awesome, Austin. Congrats, my man. Mercury Morris is a cool name, Old Man Game. Appreciate you stopping by. Changing degrees set you back 3 years. I know you changed quite a few times, Austin. Stowe High School is where Larry Zonka went to school. That's pretty cool. Is it Stowe or is it Stow? Am I pronouncing that right? All right. Continuing on, we got 1976 Topps AFC All-Pro guard Bob Kuechenberg. And then we got another Bob Greasy here, 1977 Topps Bob Greasy. the old 2-bar quarterback helmets there. And there's Hall of Famer Jim Longer on the 1978 tops. Stowe. Okay, I got you. Austin says change once just contemplated a lot of times. Gotcha. Yeah, man. I mean, sometimes your interests change, you know. You like what you think you're going to go to college for may not necessarily be what you finish going to college for, you know. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Here's a Larry Zonka on the 1979 tops. Zonk looking fresh and clean there with the trimmed up mustache and sideburns. Here's a Bob Baumhauer, defensive tackle, 1979 tops. And then we got Larry Little. I believe Larry Little is a Hall of Famer. There's a lot of football Hall of Famers. They let a lot of people into the Football Hall of Fame. Then we got Nat Moore, longtime Dolphins wide receiver. And then we got Norris Thomas on the 79. And closing it out with George Roberts, punter. Look, is that punter hair? It doesn't look like punter hair. But George Roberts, punter. Austin's going to change his major choice before he graduates. Don't do it, Austin. Well, he's already applied, so he can't. Well, technically he can, but I think Austin's tired of homework and labs and whatever at this point. Being around a bunch of 20-year-olds is dookie. Austin's the old man now. He's the super senior. All right. Let's see. Next page. Let me scroll down on my checklist here. All right. 1979 tops. Jim Longer. Sorry about the glare and the focusing issues, but you know, just low end streaming things. Here's a Larry Gordon. 1979, and then we're in 1980 with the Fleer team action. This is showing Super Bowl 7, or Miami beat Washington 14-7 for, I believe that was Miami's first Super Bowl win, and then they won the very next year. Funny fact is the 7 points, if you ever get to see it, the 7 points Washington scored was on an interception of Garo Yepremian, the Dolphins kicker. They botched the snap on a field goal try, and Yepremian tried to throw it, and it just like went straight up in the air, slipped out of his hands and into a Washington defensive player, and he ran it back for a touchdown. That was the only way Washington scored. That no-name defense was tough. All right, 1980 tops, Andre Tillman. And then we got Hall of Famer Bob Greasy. Come on now. Focus on Bob. And then we got a George Roberts, punter. And then team leaders here, we got Zonka, Nat Moore, Small, and here's another great name, Vern Der Herder. Followed by another great name, Rusty Chambers. And Delvin Williams, closing out that page. Got a bunch of 1980s tops. Joe Mansman pretty much sent me the whole Dolphins set from 1980. Never apologize about the glare. Own it. Tillman looks confused as to why somebody's taking his pick. Yeah. I mean, back then football players weren't really like in the spotlight as much as they are like nowadays. It's like, football really didn't like hit its stride as far as like the national favorite sport until like the 80s, right? To like the Montana years and the Marino and Elway years and all that. All right, continue on with 80. We got Bob Kuechenberg, Jimmy Cefalo, Duriel Harris, Ed Newman. We got Tom Foley. Do it, camera. Tom Foley. Man, I just had to hold it closer. Another Larry Gordon. Not looking too pleased there. We got Gary Davis. The aforementioned Vern Den Herder. And Mark Denard, the center. Rusty Chambers, keep it PG. What up, Sith? Spontics in the house. Sith Lordly, how you doing? Good to see you. Austin, you know something about football. You know the football is the ball is oblong and brown, got laces on it. You know some things about football. All right, continuing on with 1980 tops, we got Bob Baumhauer, Kim Bocamper, Don Strock, Hall of Famer Larry Little, Uwe von Schmann. I don't know how to say his last name. Shaman, Shaman, Shaman. We got Norris Thomas. Look at that bandage on his head. It looks like he just came out of triage in Vietnam or something. Like, like we're just gonna wrap this ace bandage. We're not even gonna use the whole thing. We're gonna tear it in half for you. Down here we got Steve Towle, and then the Zonk, Larry Zonka. This was just before Zonk went to the was it the USFL, and then Nat Moore. Immaculate Grid was super easy today. Guess every time I try to do Immaculate Grid, my mind goes blank. And then I go look at the summaries on Baseball Reference, and I'm like, oh yeah, I should remember that dude. Or like, I'm like, that dude played for that team. What? Football is the worst because like the football Immaculate Grid, because you have so many players in football that right at the end of the careers they sign 1-year deals with teams and they don't even start, and they're like bench players, and you're like, that dude played for that team. Vern Den Herter sounds like an old Western villain. He does. Don't know crap about the NFL. I got you. Percentages of some of the players used is kind of sad. I chose Willie Mays for 300 in Hall of Fame, and only 2% shocked me. Yeah, but I mean, if there's a lot of players that fit a certain thing, the recency bias probably comes in, and the more recent player probably had the higher percentage on the Immaculate Grid. All right, we got a Fleer team action here once again, talking about the Super Bowl in which Miami played the Washington Redskins back in the day. I think that's Mercury Morris running the ball. It might be Jim Kick. I think that might be Jim Kick. Can't really tell. It's number 22. I think that's Morris. So here's Miami and Minnesota, which was the second Super Bowl victory. Of course, Minnesota played in 4 Super Bowls in the 70s and didn't win any of them. Great team. Fran Tarkenton. Great quarterback. Here's Bob Greasy looking all nerdy on the 1981 tops. It's like, Bob, don't you think should you think about retiring, Bob? No. I can see just fine. Let me just put on my glasses. Oh, Bob. Might have to put Bob on the bench for a while. We got Bob Baumhauer, and then Lyle Blackwood. All these are 83 tops. Don McNeil. We got Tony Nathan, running back. Ed Newman. We got Ed Newman there, man. That's just, talk about mean mugging. That's mean mugging. And Joe Rose. Joe Rose actually had a talk show in South Florida. Still does, I think. And I think he does play-by-play for the Dolphins. Or at least has a talk radio show where he talks about the Dolphins all the time. That was a Joe Rose rookie, by the way. Fran the man, that's right. Bob Greasy, you look like he just blew up the kiss. Very, very true. He did look like he did look a little Moranish-ish. All right, we got David Woodley. Of course, David Woodley holds the distinction of being the quarterback that got benched for Dan Marino. And speaking of which, we got Dan Marino here on the 1984 in action, or instant replay. Dan Marino. This is actually a rookie year card, but is not considered a rookie card. And then we got the Fleer team action. The Colts and the Dolphins down here. And then another team action from 85 Fleer, Dan Marino, with that quick release and that Rocket Army ad. This next card's a little bit beat up. I think I got this out of a Fairfield. Look how beat up this card is. Black borders, nice chipped edges. 84 AFC Championship, Dolphins, Steelers. Dolphins 45, Steelers 28. That was kind of the MO of the Dolphins in the 80s. They always had a good offense, but their defense was never really good. And then we got one of the Marx brothers here, Mark Clayton. And then we got Dan the Man Marino, 85 tops. Love 85 tops. Just the black borders. Yeah, you can buy these graded. But like if you want to send these in for yourself, you're probably not going to get a very good grade on most of these. Tony Nathan on 85, and then the 86 tops. Team leaders. Marino sets up to go deep. Of course, this was the heyday of Marino. Marino was the king of South Florida then. So what's everybody up to this Saturday besides watching the YouTubes, the old YouTubes? Part of why being around 20-year-olds sucks is because I'm in a class with a lot of film majors. And a lot wouldn't understand that reference. Well, you don't have to get very far. Well, see, the fact that you said blew up the kids and not shrunk the kids shows that you're a little bit later in generation than we are, Austin. So just your comment showed me. Swine Ticks prepping for live stream night, slides and clips. Sith, I got there's a short on my channel of my dog. If you want to use it for spine pets, you can use it. If you don't have a clip for spine pets on your show, just whenever you don't have one or nobody sent you one, you can just show that little short that I got on my channel. It's like the only short of my dog. His name's Spots, by the way. Let's see. To be fair, I don't know if Honey I Blew Up the Kids is considered great American cinema. I don't know. Honey I Shrunk the Kids could be, because just the special effects and the set design and all that, Honey I Shrunk the Kids was pretty good. You know, pretty good for the year it came out. All right, great set here. 1986 tops. 86. If you're going to collect a set in football, collect 86 tops. So many Hall of Fame rookie cards in it. There's Mark Clayton, and there is Dwight Stevenson. And then we got the 87 tops record breaker, most consecutive seasons of 30 or more touchdown passes, which was how many? What, 3 or 4 at the time? 3 seasons. Everybody has 30 touchdown passes nowadays in the NFL. But back then, he broke it in his 3rd year. We got Roy Foster on the 87 tops, followed by Dwight Stevenson going out of focus. And then we got the 88 tops, Dan the Man Marino. 88 tops, super rookie, Troy Stratford. Even though I don't think he was a super rookie. Mark Super Duper. And Thunder Leg himself, Reggie Roby, the punter. 1-bar punter, Reggie Roby, Thunder Leg. Spots, Sith. The dog's name is Spots. The very generic Spot name, but pluralized. In my defense, I got confused with the 1992 film. It's great because it has the Bernie Kosar rookie. I mean, that's the only one you focus on, not the Reggie White or Jerry Rice or Steve Young. We played Pictionary, and over half the class didn't understand Forrest Gump. Well, I mean, it's a different generation. So like Austin, like people from my generation, in essence, you know, the older people in your generation, I guess you could say, we're used to those VHS and DVDs. Like we watched those movies over and over again because we had to. Like we didn't have streaming back then. Like streaming, you have all this choice. Like you don't have to watch a movie 5, 6, 7 times. Or even if you had cable back then, you were at the behest of whatever HBO was showing. So like HBO would show the same movie every day, so you would watch it 3 or 4 times. It's like Killer Clowns in Outer Space. HBO used to show Killer Clowns in Outer Space every other afternoon. Seriously. Never heard of Jerry Rice. Was he any good? Oh yeah, for sure, Seth. Yeah, that sounds good, man. I can send you a pic. I got a couple pictures of him. You need me to send you a picture instead. Let's see. Dad has a collection of Nobody has a collection of laser discs. Your dad was a special type of nerd there, Austin. Like a legit collection. So I somewhat grew up on older movies. Mars Attacks is greater than Killer Clowns. Uh, Debatable. Mars Attacks is decent. Killer Clowns is classic. Debatable. Different, totally different spectrums there. Mars Attacks actually had like name recognition of people. Killer Clowns was just, straight up B movie, but it was excellent. All right, Dwight Stevenson, back to the cards. 88. 88 tops, Paul Langford. And then we got 89 pro set, Sammy Smith rookie card. Sammy Smith, such a good running back. Just could not hold on to the football. He was the fumbler. The fumbler, Sammy Smith. 1989 score, Dan the Man Marino. Pretty cool. I kind of like the color match on the border there. And then we got Jeff Uhlenhake. On the 89 tops traded. 89 tops traded. I always call that the tube sock set because it resembles 80s tube socks. And then we got 90 Fleer, Jeff Dallenbach. 90 Fleer, Dan the Man Marino. John Offerdahl. And Pete Stoyanovich with the 1-bar kicker's mask. Pete Stoyanovich, good kicker. I wanted a Laserdisc player so bad. I know, didn't we all? And then, we all got Laserdisc players called DVD players. They weren't as big as a freaking vinyl record, but we all got our Laserdiscs in time. Spaceballs is greater than anything. Spaceballs is great. Sith likes Mars Attacks. I do have lasers somehow. When the player cost me $5 and the disc were $1, why not? What's up, Henry? How you doing today? Good to see you. Appreciate you stopping by. All right, continuing on with the binder, we got 90 pro sets. Bob Greasy, Hall of Fame inductee in 1990. We got Jim Jensen, the Swiss Army knife. This dude played tight end, but sometimes would line up at running back, wide receiver, even play quarterback. I think he did a few punts in his career. A few fake punts as well. The true Swiss Army knife. Do all. And then we got the aforementioned Sammy Smith. And then the man right there, Don Shula, still to this day, the winningest coach in NFL history. Bill Belichick, I think, needs 8 or 9 more years probably to pass him. So we'll see. There's Pistol Pete. Pistol Pete Stoyanovich. Pete Stoyanovich looking all happy. Jim Longer, Super Bowl Superman. And then another Super Bowl Superman, Larry Seipel, the punter. We saw his 1969 card or 1970 card earlier. Dan the Man Marino on the 90 score. And then Mark Clayton on the 90 score. Some artists should do a series where he draws movie stars every week, sort of like a 6 Degrees of Separation thing. Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be really awesome. I would kind of like to see that again. Oh wait, I mean for the first time. Offered all 1 per TTM. Nice. Lady says parents gave us their VHS. Immediately bought Friday the 13th to play. Nice. I know. As much as I'd like to, struggling. Yeah, I can imagine. Scott's a very popular guy, so he's a very busy man. All right, back to the 90 score. We got Pete Stoyanovich. We got Richmond Webb there in his college uni, which I think was Texas A&M. Might be Mississippi State. Texas A&M. Richmond Webb. And then Dan Marino, Hot Gun with the sky in the background. It's pretty cool. And we got Pharrell Edmonds, Jarvis Williams, the Super Duper. He's even wearing a two-bar helmet as a wide receiver. We got EJ Jr. down here, a Richmond Webb class of 1990. And then we got a swell greats Pro Football Hall of Fame of Bob Greasy from 1990. Henry says he's mired in art projects at the moment. Austin said, I grew up on VHS, legit had Laserdisc, VHS, DVD. Grew up listening to cassette tapes for a little bit. Texas A&M puke. Cassette tapes are the bomb. Until, that random tape player ate your tape. And you had to somehow finagle your tape out without breaking the tape. And then, had to use the old pencil trick to wind the tape back in there. Henry says, cool, Greasy. Scott says, you're like super old and stuff, Austin. Yeah, I know, Austin. God, you're so old. So old, Austin. You're so old, you make me sick. All right. I believe these might be out of order. Where was that? Oh, no. This was the same one we just looked at. That's why. I was about to double dip. All right. My dad is 74, so I was forced growing up with the older stuff. All right. 1991 Fleer Dan Marino. So this card is actually an original. I remember pulling this card out of a pack and stuck in a top loader and everything. It was the first card that I was ever super excited to pull out of a pack, because this was the first year I was collecting baseball cards, 1991. And I just moved to Georgia from Florida. I was a Dolphins fan. I grew up as a Dolphins fan. I bought a fat pack. When I say a fat pack, I think these packs have 60 cards in them of 1991 Fleer. I bought it at a Rose's and pulled this Dan Marino card. And I'll always remember that. It was the first card I was super excited that I pulled. I hate the set. 91 Fleer is just horribly ugly. But that card means a lot to me. We got 1991 Pacific Jeff Cross, Dan the Man. And then we got Pinnacle, Richmond Webb, Jeff Cross, and Brian Cox. And then we got Pro Line Portraits, Dan Marino, Don Shula, and Pro Set Dan Marino from 91. 7th straight 3,000-yard season. Yeah, Henry, show off binders. We need more binder videos, more binder live streams. Why not? Give you a reason to get on there and BS with chat. Austin says that Marino is aesthetically pleasing with the color scheme. All right, continuing on, we got some more 90 Pro Sets. Dan Marino being chased by the Jets, suck, the Jets. Don Shula looking all pleased in his aviators. This is a Don Shula. This is about when he won his 300th game. Mr. Don Shula. And then we got Pro Set Platinum, Dan the Man here. Followed by Mr. Shula. Look at that shirt. Nothing screams early 90s like that design. Just random paint strokes and geometric shapes on a shirt. Looks like the Saved by the Bell intro. We got 91 score Jeff Ulinek, JB Brown, Dan the Man. Don't throw it to Sammy. He'll drop it. And Mark Super Duper. All right, continuing on. We got 1991 Ultra All-Stars insert, Dan Marino. And then the regular base set ultra of Jim Jensen, Marino, and Veste Jackson. And then 91 upper deck, we got Focus, Jarvis Williams, Sammy Smith, Dan Marino in the snow. No, the Dolphins lost that game. They lost every game in the snow, seems like. Well, except for that one in Dallas with Leon Lett touching the ball. There's Thunder Leg right there. Look at that. That's like a giant ostrich leg right there. Reggie Roby, Thunder Leg, and Tim McKyer. All right. We got a few more 91 upper decks here. We got Pharrell Edmonds, John Offerdahl, EJ Jr., Jeff Cross. We got Dan Marino and Steve DeBerg there in their Zubaz shorts. Look at that big old brace Marino's got on his left knee. And them old school socks. Love this picture. Just screams 1991. And then we got Domino's quarterback challenge, Dan Marino, followed by Bob Greasy. Then we got 92 Bowman, Pete Stoyanovich, and Tony Page. All right. Let me hydrate for a second here. I don't know how long I'm going to stream. I was hoping to finish the binder, but if we get halfway through it, I'll do another live stream, maybe like tomorrow morning before the football games or something. Around 12 o'clock or 11 o'clock to finish out the binder. Hydrate. All right. Continuing on with 1992 Pacific. Bob Greasy. Of course, it makes sense because the set was called Bob Greasy. All right, 1992 Stadium Club. J.B. Brown. John Offerdahl. Who was that? Louis Oliver. Louis Oliver once held the record for longest interception return. I think it was 103 yards, but that got broken. T.J. Turner. We got Scott Miller down here. Jim Jensen. And then closing it out with a Mark Clayton. Mark Clayton holding the ball like a loaf of bread, as they used to say. All right, this page starts off with 92 tops. We got Jim Jensen. I don't even think he knows what position he's supposed to be playing right here. And then we got 92 upper deck, Mark Higgs. We got rookie force, Marco Coleman. Veste Jackson. Tony Martin. I remember Tony Martin playing for the Falcons. I don't think he played that long with the Dolphins. Scott Miller. Bobby Humphrey. Keith Sims. And then 93 Bowman, Terry Kirby. So, 92 was kind of the year that the Dolphins kind of got rid of a lot of those old players that they had in the 80s. Jim Jensen. I think Sammy Smith was still on the team. You started seeing names like Tony Martin and Mark Higgs. You're like, who are these guys? And Keith Jackson. A lot of people remember him with the Eagles, but he did play with the Dolphins for a couple years. We got Pete Stoyanovich and Louis Oliver. There's a 93 playoff and Brian Cox down here. And then continuing on with the, what is this, score? Yeah, 93 score, Mark Clayton. This was sent to me by Mr. Jeff Airtime, Sports Illustrated for Kids. Dan Marino. That's awesome. From 93. And then 93 tops, Mark Higgs. and Brian Cox. And then closing it out with a 93 Upper Deck checklist card of Dan Marino. It's pretty cool art style. Reminds me of that movie where Robin Williams, where he goes to hell to get his wife. What Dreams May Come. Is that what it's called? Went to a college football game a few years ago and sat right behind the bench. They had a guy whose job it was to yell hydrate. Yeah, it makes sense because you don't think about it. Like just me talking, like, getting dry mouth. Good old cotton mouth. All right. Scroll down the checklist here. All right. We got 1994 Pinnacle. Jeff Cross. And then we got a Tim Ruddy rookie card here in his Notre Dame uni. And then we got some Pogs. 1994 Ted Williams, Roger Staubach with Bob Greasy and Doug Williams. Those are Pogs. And then we got the base card from Ted Williams, Roger Staubach, of Bob Greasy. Then we got 94 Tops. Gene Atkins, kind of hard to see. And then who is this? Michael Stewart. Followed by 94 Ultra, Dan the Man. 95 Classic NFL Experience, Big Tim Bowens. This guy was a really good defensive tackle. Big old boy. And then we got a Flair preview from, what year is this? 95 Flair. This is a Flair preview of Dan Marino. It's a sweet card. Sweet card. So, Scott, who do your Browns have for the first game? All right. 1995 Pinnacle Keith Byers. Irving Fryer. A lot of people remember Irving Fryer with the Patriots. He was pretty good with the Dolphins. 95 Pinnacle Club Collection of Dan the Man Marino. Ooh, the Bengals really starting off with in-state. Tough team. With Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, the highest paid man in the NFL. O.J. McDuffie. He was my favorite wide receiver back in the day for the Dolphins. O.J. McDuffie out of Penn State. We got Troy Vincent. This is Pro Line Classic from 95. And then we got 95 score, Eric Green. And then Irving Spikes, 95 score. 95 Skybox Impact of Tim Bowens. There we go. And Terry Kirby on the SP Championship from 95. Battle of Ohio, even though Cincinnati is in Kentucky. Cincinnati is not in Kentucky. The airport is. Cincinnati Airport's in Kentucky. But Cincinnati's not in Kentucky. Cincinnati is firmly over the Ohio River on the Ohio side. My brother well, he doesn't live in Cincinnati. He works in Cincinnati. He actually lives in Independence, Kentucky. So point taken, Scott. Here's a 95 Sports Illustrated for kids. Dan Marino. Look at Dan. Looking like a dapper ginger here on the Sports Illustrated for kids. And then we got a cut above. This was a Dan Marino insert set from 96 Collector's Choice. I got quite a few of these. This one's got a crease on the top. I just noticed that. That's fine. A bunch of these cut aboves about Dan Marino's career. 96 Collector's Choice. And of course, the camera's like, no, man, I want to focus on the glare. The glare is cool. Why would I focus on Dan Marino? But yeah, a bunch of cut above inserts there. And then we got a collector's choice from 97. That's got Curtis Martin. It's 2 Hall of Famers in that picture. Dan Marino and Curtis Martin. Paternal grandma and ancestors were from Kentucky. Which part of Kentucky? That makes a big difference. I'm not from Kentucky. I've only been to Kentucky a few times. All right, continuing on, we got the checklist from 96 Collector's Choice, followed by a checklist of Collector's Choice update, followed by a President's Reserve from 96 Collector's Edge. We'll acetate action going there. Another checklist from 96 Donruss, and another checklist from Leaf 96. And then playoff trophy contenders Bernie Parmalee, running back. And then down here we got score from 96, 97 Collector's Edge Extreme, Dan Marino, and a young Jason Taylor. I think that's actually might be a Jason Taylor rookie card on the 97 Collector's Edge Extreme. Jason Taylor, Hall of Famer. It's hard to be a Browns fan. Hey, man. It's tough being a Dolphins fan, too. Probably not quite as tough as being a Browns fan. But it's pretty tough being a Dolphins fan. Not that we've had, like, all the bad years at the, hold on a sec. Stuff falling on my shelf down here. Not all the bad years that the Browns had. You know, Browns had some pretty lean years there. That just continued for the longest time. The Dolphins were just mediocre for forever. Forever. They were like the consummate 8-8 team. For like 15 straight years. They never got a top draft pick. They never got a late round draft pick because even if they did make the playoffs, they'd lose in the first round. 97 Fleer, 97 Pacific. And then we got 97 Pacific Dynagon. That is the Prism. And then down here we got pop cards from Pacific Invincible. And then here we got Util Green from 97 Scoreboard. And a Jason Taylor from 97 Scoreboard. And his Akron Zips Uni. We got, Akron. Shout out to Rainier Studios. That's up by him. John Avery, rookie from Bowman Chrome. And then we got, what set is this? Collector's Edge Supreme Season Review. You know your set title is too long when the set is called Collector's Edge Supreme Season Review. And this is a base card from Collector's Edge Supreme Season Review. Here's Skybox Thunder. See how much easier that is to say? Skybox Thunder. Collector's Edge Supreme Season Review. Scott says, go Zips. Dolphins don't have a preferred star QB that nobody likes. Okay, you got me there. Seth says, one of my ancestors was Thomas Walker. He explored the Cumberland Gap. Hey, that's pretty cool. I've been to the Cumberland Gap. He has a cool Wikipedia entry. Served on some American Revolution committees. Eventually, they settled in Adair County and Louisville. Who is the Dolphins QB this year? Tua Tagovailoa. All right. We got 1998 Topps, Derek Rogers. Who's that? Is that who I think it is? Oh, let me look at my checklist. That is who I think it is. That is Lawrence Phillips. That's what I thought it said right there. Sorry, I'm looking at the screen to read the card, and so when it doesn't focus, I can't read it. Lawrence Phillips. Oh, man. That's a story. Lawrence Phillips. Jason Taylor on the 98 tops. We got Upper Deck Choice StarQuest. That's the blue version. Dan Marino. And then we got, what is this in the middle? Ultra. 98 Ultra. Dan Marino. And 98 Upper Deck Black Diamond Rookie Edition. Dan Marino. Black Diamond Rookie Edition. Dan Marino. And then at the bottom here, we got Collector's Edge Advantage. John Avery. Collector's Edge Supreme. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, not the basketball player, the running back. That is his name, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I'm proving it. It's right there. And John Avery, another running back. Has tug in it. Well, it technically has tongue in it, but I don't know. That might be worse. Nobody cut up my stream out of context, by the way. Kareem played for the Browns for a little bit. Nice. I know he played at UCLA. I think that's where he went to college. All right, where am I at on my checklist? Okay, let me try removing the paper. Maybe this will help. Let's help focus it. I think it would be worse. Kind of focus a little bit. That's Topps Finest 99, Dan Marino on the left there. And then we got a Fleer Focus Dan Marino in the middle. And a Pacific Omega Kareem Abdul-Jabbar down here. Kind of a cool, weird design there. And then we got 99 Score. New Hall of Fame inductee Zach Thomas. Followed by Lamar Thomas. Lamar Thomas, former Miami Hurricane as well. Has a bit of a DV issue, domestic violence, I guess you could say. 99 Stadium Club, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And then a Rondé Gadsden down here at the bottom. Rondé Gadsden. He has an interesting story about being in the NFL. He was actually a UPS driver that I think walked into an open Dolphins practice and ended up making the team as a wide receiver. And dude had great hands. He could pretty much catch anything. He wasn't the fastest wide receiver. He's pretty much a possession receiver, but Rondé Gadsden, really cool story with him. I think he was a UPS driver. And John Avery. Waiting for Jay Fiedler rookies to show up. Well, I won't have any Jay Fiedler because actually Jay Fiedler, when he was a rookie, he was on the Jaguars. He was a Jaguars rookie, I believe. But I do have some Jay Fiedler cards, but they're not rookies. All right, continuing on, we got 99 Topps, O.J. McDuffie. And then we got a 99 Ultra, that's the gold medallion, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And then the base Fleer Ultra of O.J. McDuffie. I hate you, camera. Autofocus. There we go. O.J. McDuffie, Zach Thomas, 99 Upper Deck MVP Theater, Dan Marino, followed by a base of John Avery, MVP, Cecil Collins from 99 Upper Deck, Fleer Gamers, Damon Heward, and the aforementioned Jay Fiedler. There you go, Sith. There's your Jay Fiedler on the 2000 Fleer Gamers. So Jay Fiedler, it's kind of a sad story with the Dolphins. Well, Jay Fiedler is not a sad story. Just the circumstances of Jay Fiedler becoming quarterback is kind of a sad story for Dolphins fans. So if any of y'all remember or don't remember, Dan Marino's last season in the NFL was 1999. And the Dolphins made the playoffs that year and faced the Jaguars in the playoffs. Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville Jaguars were a really good team. Yeah, they were an expansion team in the 90s, but they got really good really fast. They had Mark Brunell at quarterback. They had Jimmy Smith at wide receiver, Keenan McCardell at wide receiver, Fred Taylor running back. Really good offense back in the day. And so the Dolphins go out to Jacksonville and play these Jaguars. Now, here's the thing. Mark Brunell was injured and did not play. Jay Fiedler did play. And yeah, they got blown out. It was like the biggest point differential ever in NFL playoffs history. The Dolphins got straight up blown out, and it was like a sad ending to a great career for Dan Marino because he retired. And the very next year, who's the quarterback for the Dolphins? Jay freaking Fiedler. Yeah, horrible. Okay, story time over. We got 2000 playoff momentum, Thurman Thomas. Yes, Thurman Thomas played for the Dolphins for like 2 seasons. And then I think he went back to the Bills to retire. Jason Taylor here on the 2000 Skybox. 2000 Damon Heward. And actually, Damon Heward, Dan Marino was campaigning for Damon Heward to be the starting quarterback, but Jay Fiedler was better. Season highlights from 2000 tops, Dan Marino, 2000 Upper Deck pros and prospects, Jay Fiedler, followed by, who is that? Oh, James Johnson. James Johnson. Actually, no, that's Damon Heward, not Jay Fiedler. Because Jay Fiedler is down here at the bottom in his Jaguars uni, probably lighting up the Dolphins in Dan Marino's last ever NFL game. And then we got Jason Taylor on the Topps Chrome 2001 and Ricky Williams on the 2002 Fleer box score. Ricky. Glad the Rangers didn't claim him. Their second half has been brutal. Yeah, the Rangers have been tough in the second half, Austin. Hearing Pat Summerall's voice in your head. I don't think I could do Pat Summerall that well. All right. Let's see what time is it. 12:58. This will be the last one. This will be the last page for today, and then I'll take off. We are at 2002 score. Mr. Chris Chambers, followed by Rondé Gadsden and Travis Minor. Travis Minor, good third down back. Dolphins used. Played at Florida State. Junior Seau came to the Dolphins. Was okay as a Dolphin. Wasn't great. He wasn't the Junior Seau of old, but of course, like he was already older at this point, 2003. And yeah, like he was okay, but he wasn't great. So like the Dolphins let him go after 1 year. He signed with the Patriots and balled out. There's a long history of Dolphins going to the Patriots and balling out. Wes Welker's another one. James McKnight. Actually, I can't say that about Wes Welker. Wes Welker was good with the Dolphins too. Jason Taylor. These are 2003 tops collection. Travis Minor. Chris Carter. Yes, the Chris Carter from the Vikings did play a season with the Dolphins. And Rondé Gadsden. Is Ricky the Manny Ramirez of football? No. Ricky's more of like the Josh Hamilton of football, but with a better career. And without probably the more negative sides of Josh Hamilton. That's more Ricky Williams. Ricky Williams just wanted to smoke the sticky icky, you know? And the NFL said, no, you can't be doing that. So Ricky Williams would be in the Hall of Fame if he didn't lose 3 seasons, 1 season to a broken leg, and actually like 3.5 seasons. And the other 2.5 seasons for being suspended for the sticky icky. But yeah, so I'm going to end it at that. Thank you all for hanging out with me today for this Binder Bites. I'll do it again tomorrow because I want to finish off this binder before the actual Dolphins season begins. So tomorrow I'll probably go on maybe about 11:30ish in the morning Eastern time. So be pretty early for spine ticks sit out there on the West Coast, especially after streaming tonight. Um, Ricky Williams said, no, that's what I said, not the totally negative stuff, Austin. I'm just talking about drug use and being suspended for stuff like that. Thank you, Seth. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Austin, Henry, anybody else that was up in there today. Appreciate it. Glad this is over. People, dude, man, take me into the bathroom with you. I promise I won't look. I mean, I can't see anyways. I'm staring into a camera. I'm on the opposite end of the camera. Just take me into the bathroom with you, Scott. I'll just pretend like I'm not there because that's exactly what I'll do. Thank you all for watching, man. I'll catch y'all later. Have a good day. I'll see you later on tonight. Spine Ticks for your live stream. Definitely check out Spine Ticks live on Saturday nights at 10 Eastern, 11 Eastern, around that time. Got me on the computer. I got you. Taking the laptop to the bathroom before. See, everybody does it. Everybody's connected to the internet now where they're pooping. That's what always cracked me up about people saying their spoons or their spoons, their phones are spying on them. Like, oh, you gotta like be careful because your phone be listening to you and taking pictures of you, at random times because the government's tracking you. And I'm like, well, then the government's got a lot of pictures and audio clips of people pooping in the bathroom. It's true. They're spying on us. They got a lot of that they got to sift through because everybody takes their phone to the bathroom. It's true. But yeah, everybody enjoy your Saturday, and I'll catch you all tomorrow, hopefully. But until then, peace.